Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Ujar Umpan Mengajar. I'm Hilma Safitri. I'm teaching Sociolinguistics at English Department of Unpan. I'm going to share material with the title Code Switching. Today, we are going to discuss regarding to the first one, what is code switching? And the last one, type of code switching. This program will be conducted in some episodes. So, keep watching and don't miss it. Stay tuned on Sasmita Jaya TV Berbagi untuk Negeri. Sometimes, people are reluctant to talk in regard to their privacy. They have to hide something from others. Some people may feel like they need to say things by using different language. Hence, they need to use two languages when conveying some idea, such as, saya ingin pergi ke sana. Unfortunately, my mom does not permit me. Another example, saya rasa Anda perlu mengetahui hal itu. Therefore, you have to do something. From the two examples above, we can see that the speaker wants to hide what they want to say, while another one wants to say something in different way. To use different languages, sometimes someone should mix two or more languages. Hence, they will say such as, saya akan pergi to the market this morning. Another example, Anda dapat mencapai cita-cita Anda if you want to. The trigger of why the speaker mentioned before they convey the message by using code mixing might be he or she does not know some words of different languages. Therefore, what we are going to discuss today is about code switching or code mixing. In relation to what we have discussed before, Wardah 2006 state that code mixing is a system used to communicate between two or more speakers in the form of particular dialect or language. When people talk, they choose a specific way to speaking, like a dialect or language. This way of speaking is called code, a system used for communication. People often switch between different codes while talking. They might change from one language to another, or even mix languages with the same sentence. This is called code switching. Code switching can happen when people take turns speaking, or even within a single person's speech. It can happen between sentences or even within a single sentence. People might choose the code switch, or it can be a way for a group of people to show who they are, especially when they use more than one language in their daily lives. Hence, we can say that code switching is a way to connect with others, create distance, or change the way people interact. It's like a tool to build relationships, set boundaries, or change the rule of how people talk to each other. According to Wardah, there are two main types of code switching. The first one, situational code switching. This might be happen when the language people use change depending on the situation they are in. Imagine someone speaking English at work and then they switch to Spanish when they are with their family. The topic of the conversation doesn't change, but the language does because of the different situation. Number two, metaphorical code switching. This might happen when a change in the topic of conversation leads to a change in the language used. For example, if someone is talking about technical subject in English and then wants to discuss a personal story, he or she might switch to another language that feels more natural for the topic. In short, situational code switching is about the environment. while metaphorical code switching is about the subject matter. Code switching is like meeting someone in the middle. It shows that you are willing to connect with them, find common ground, and be flexible in how you communicate. It shows that you are open to understanding and being understood. Code switching demonstrates a willingness to cooperate and understand that everyone comes from a different background. It's a way of showing that you are not just focused on your own way of doing things. Rather, you are open to connecting with others on their terms. By adapting your language and communication style, you can reduce the chance to conflict and create a more harmonious environment, especially in situations that could be tense or challenging. There are 3 different types of code switching, such as the first one is text switching, the second one is intrasentential switching, and the last one is intersentential switching. Text switching happens when someone uses a word or phrase from one language in a sentence that's mostly in another language. This is like saying, baju bagus, isn't it? The part involved is the English in English, while the rest in bahasa. Text switching is pretty easy to do because these words or phrases do not really affect the rest of the sentence. They can be moved around or added almost everywhere without messing up the grammar. Another type of code switching is called intrasentential switching. This happens when someone switches language within a single sentence or part of the sentence. For example, they might say, I went to pasar to buy some vegetable. For the word pasar is in bahasa, while the rest is in English. Intrasentential switching is more complicated than text switching because it requires the speaker to be able to use 2 languages at the same time. And the last type is intersentential switching. This type of switching happens between sentence and clauses. The speaker changes languages at the boundary of a sentence or clause. For example, tugas saya sudah selesai. I'm going to sleep now. The first sentence is in bahasa and the second sentence is in English. Another example, I'm hungry. Saya nak makan nasi lemak. So the first sentence is English and the second sentence contains the Malay word nasi lemak. For note, intersentential switching is the most common type of code switching. It's often used in conversation where the speakers are comfortable using both languages. It can happen in both formal and informal settings. It can also occur when speakers switch languages between turn-in a conversation. For example, one speaker might speak in English and the other speaker might respond in another language. To sum up, there are 6 types of code switching in accordance to 2 experts mentioned above. The first one is situational code switching. This happens when the language people use changes depending on the situation. And the second one, metaphorical code switching. This happens when a change in the topic of conversation leads to a change in the language used. And the third, text switching. It's about switching of a single word or phrase within a sentence, such as the food is delicious, masakannya good, right? And the fourth is intrasentential switching. It's about switching within a single sentence or clause In example, I went to pasar yesterday and bought some fresh vegetable. And the last one, intersentential switching. It's about switching between sentence or clauses. For example, in a sentence, tugas saya selesai. I'm going to sleep now. Today you have learned about code switching. I believe that you have known more. I think if you like to say things in different ways, then you can say it directly. Or you can say what you want to say in different ways in per se, at all costs.